All right, we are here with Guy J at Skyline. Guy, thank you so much for taking time to do this interview. My first question for you kind of gets right to what I think your superpower is as a producer and as a DJ, which is so many great DJs tell me that the greatest tracks don't rely on high tempos to bring the energy.
Yes.
And I feel like that this is one of your defining characteristics as a producer and as a DJ. What do you think about this, that a track can bring energy while still being at a lower tempo?
So I think, when you produce at a lower tempo, also when I DJ, I play like between 119 BPM to 122. And I think, but more like you said, in production, you have more space and to put more elements, when it's slower. When there's when it's faster, I feel like when producing, you don't have much attention for the details. So I love making, tracks that have a lot of energy, but lower BPM. There's more room to add some elements. Yes, I think that's where the magic is.
So in an old interview of yours, I saw that you consider yourself more of a producer first before being a DJ. I also know that in terms of your story as an artist, John Digweed has been a really big mentor to you.
Yes, of course.
He would definitely consider himself more of a DJ than a producer. So he's coming kind of from a different area, I'd say, than you, or a different background. But what type of advice has he passed on to you, or how has he been a good mentor to you?
I think John Digweed is for me, maybe the best, one of the best for sure DJs out there. And also DJing, it has its own art, craft of making, It's about building up, reading the crowd to know when is the right moment to maybe lift the energy or when to cool down a little bit. So, listening to him, to his transition shows for many years, and I got to know him, of course, and see him in the club, and I learned a lot about, it's also gave me tips on how to produce music, because I produce a lot of my intros. I produce some deep house or minimal, so I can build up to what I want to play. And also this is from listening to him and learning what is the right or the perfect build up for the night, So I'm lucky to know him and to live at the same time and learn from someone that's amazing.
We were talking a little bit off camera about how I got started with Super Progressive and how the first interview I ever did was with DJ Choopy, because Choopy promoted the event for Tony DeVee in Tel Aviv for Global Underground 001. That was the first video I ever made. Speaking with Choopy was amazing. And I'd just like to ask you, what were some influential clubs that you went to when you were first getting into this scene?
So for me, the one of the things that got me into electronic music or showed me the light was the Laugh Parade in Tel Aviv. To see, I have goosebumps, to be, it was on the coast of Tel Aviv, and to see tracks with amazing electronic music, trance music at that time, was very big, and I heard some of the, like Evolution, Phoenix, Heaven Sent on the beach in Tel Aviv, and I was like seeing everyone dancing, and it blew my mind, and I wasn't allowed to go into clubs yet at that time, but listening to that and see how it connects everyone, and it really changed my life, and it made me want to be able to create that. And thankfully, this is what I get to do. I get to meet people from all over the world, and to see how electronic music has so much power. And yes, it's a gift.
That's amazing. So many up-and-coming DJs listen to the podcast and would love to hear some of your insights. One question I have for you is, can you kind of explain what your DJ setup is? I read, and I'm not sure if this is your current setup, but that you use Tractor, or I'm not sure if do you still use Tractor?
So I'm playing now USB, but I'm using for CDJs, for decks, same as what I I did with Traktor before. And before that, I used to play with Ableton, which was much more preparation and for me less fun. But also it gave me insight about looping and how to keep the energy when playing a few channels. So now I'm playing with USB, and I feel I can give almost the same as what I could do with Ableton, with the CDJs and the Pioneer mixer. You know, you have so many possibilities. So I feel it's almost the same, and I'm still giving my best and not giving less from what I did before.
Now, a lot of your biggest fans are always looking at the videos to see exactly the style that you're DJing. One thing that they say is that you seem to always have loops going, no matter what track's playing, you have loops going on the side. How does this contribute to kind of that signature hypnotizing feeling that your sets have?
I'll tell you what. So one of the genres that got exposed when I was younger, was techno, like the real hard, dirty techno. And that music at that time, it was very dirty, you know, and there was always like an engine behind the music, you know, and I feel that's what I want to do with the loops, something that keeps the energy, it's not stopping, you know, and also it makes my, let's call it my work, much more fun than mixing two tracks, you know. I would be bored doing just that, you know, so I feel it's more fun for me, and of course it gives the set something unique, you know, so it's it works for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I see the ring. I'm going to do a little zoom in on the ring right there. The early morning. One of the most exciting things going on in the progressive scene was you. After Lost and Found came to its fitting end, that you launched Early Morning. Now, I'm guessing that you are going through thousands and thousands of tracks each week, whether they're demo requests for the label or you just staying on top of your music. How, when you have a gig like this tonight in Skyline, or you have a more extended set, how do you stay on top of your music and stay organized so that you get to play out new music, but like every great DJ, you know your music well, and it's not only your first or second time hearing the track as you're playing it out to the club?
So I play mostly, not everything, but mostly my music. So during the week I'm working on producing music, fixing some tracks I made before. To promos, to be honest, I listen much less. It's time consuming, and because you know, you said listening to thousands of promos. I do get thousands of promos, and it's hard to listen, and it's gonna be confusing also at times, you know. So once in a while, I add music by other amazing artists to the collection, and I add only music that I really, really love, you know. So I don't have loads of music that I get lost when I go to play in a club, you know. I know exactly what I have. And it's working out.
Another question on the early morning front. How are you making sure that you're not just doing Lost and Found again with Early Morning? Is there a different kind of process for you, or are you trying to push different sounds? How are you making it its own thing rather than just Lost and Found over again?
It's a great question. You know, Lost and Found had a magic to it. You know, it's a magic that was created with producers that are, you know, I'm fan of their music, and also we got to connect and create something special as a community. And you know, I think it's not something I planned to create. You know, it just happened because there was something you need at the right place at the right time. And I do hope to create something similar with Early Morning, but also I'm gonna let it happen naturally, you know. And I think it's on the same path. And again, it's not because of me. It's the producers that I'm lucky to work with, and also now I'm working with the artists that make the cover for the releases, Arrogant Karen, which makes wow, you know, it's breathtaking. So I think together these things create something special, and maybe I mean, I just started last year, so in 9 years you can ask me again and see if it worked out to be the same magical thing.
Awesome. I have an equipment question for you.
Yeah.
What type of headphones do you use when you're DJing, and do you use different headphones for studio work compared to the headphones you may use in a club for when you're DJing?
Yeah, so when I DJ, I use Pioneer. I forgot the name. I think it's something with 10, HDJ 10, and for the studio, I use Audio Z, which
nice.
are amazing. Yeah, yes.
Okay, and I think I have my last question here, which is, you played the first ever Skyline party.
Yes.
And here we are, third birthday.
Come.
I think you got
it. That's the man.
Yeah.
That's his last show.
Yes.
What was it? My first question is, for a party that had no reputation, like, why'd you decide to take a chance on Skyline?
You know, it was so Skyline. It happens on Sundays. I think it's a great idea because you have the weekend. You know, you play Friday, Saturday, and I got an option to play in Glasgow. Of course, I played in Glasgow many years ago, and it was an opportunity to come back. You know, as a DJ, or you want to be exposed to new places or to rebuild your fan base. So it was an opportunity to come here, and I fell in love with the vibe, with the place, and of course with the gentleman that you just saw, Graham. You know, since then, this is the 5th time. I love coming here. It's a unique party. You know, it's not always about playing in a massive crowd, and which is of course amazing, but also these more intimate gigs have something unique that you cannot get in bigger clubs or festivals. So I love coming here. And I can't wait to be here again. And happy birthday, Skyline.
Yeah, and the last thing, for the club, like, what can you say about these clubbers? Because when I learn about the history of progressive underground music, whether it's Sasha and John at the Arches or at Sub Club, it always seemed like the clubbers in this city take things to a new level. Do you feel that on the Skyline dance floor?
Yeah. It's very hardcore, you know. The people are into the music, and I think now that Skyline, you know, they, you know, since I came here 3 years ago, right, Graham?
3 years ago today.
3 years ago today. Since then, you know, they upgraded the sound, the decoration. And also with that, you see, it's because you have a community here that love the music, and they want to, you know, they need to give a good feedback, and to, you know, from the promoter, the production, to the crowd, and it's you can see it's working out. So, and it's great to be part of it. So thank you, Graham. Happy to be here, baby.
Well, thank you so much, guys. This has been an absolute honor to interview you.
Thank you
I'm
very
so excited
much.
to share this. Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
excited for your set. This is going to be great.
Thank you. See you.
See ya.